Have you ever wondered why some people cruise through life's challenges while others get stuck at the first sign of trouble? The answer isn't just talent or intelligence, it's something much deeper. Today on Book Summaries channel, we are exploring the world-renowned masterpiece Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol S. Dweck. We will reveal how a simple shift in how you think about your abilities can determine whether you reach your full potential or stay exactly where you are. In this opening chapter, Dweck introduces the core concept of the book, the two mindsets that shape our lives. The fixed mindset is the belief that your qualities, intelligence, and talents are carved in stone and cannot be changed. People with this mindset feel a constant need to prove themselves and avoid failure at all costs because they see it as a personal indictment. On the other hand, the growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities can be cultivated through effort, strategies, and help from others. Those with a growth mindset don't just seek challenge, they thrive on it. They understand that even geniuses have to work hard to develop their abilities. This chapter explains that your mindset is a choice, and it significantly influences how you lead your life. Dweck shares her initial research, which showed how these internal beliefs drive our behaviors. She emphasizes that while everyone is born with a certain set of genes, it is the mindset that determines what we do with those genes. By identifying which mindset you typically operate from, you begin the journey toward transformation. This foundation sets the stage for understanding success in every other area of life. This chapter dives deeper into how these two mindsets function in real-world scenarios. For a person in a fixed mindset, every situation is a test of their character and ability, leading to a fear of being judged. They often look for safe tasks where they can shine without the risk of looking foolish or incompetent. Conversely, individuals in a growth mindset view every situation as an opportunity to learn and expand. They see effort as the key to mastery, whereas those in the fixed mindset often feel that if you have to work hard, you must not be naturally talented. Dweck explains that the growth mindset turns failure into a gift by providing information on how to improve. In contrast, the fixed mindset sees failure as a permanent label that defines who you are. This chapter also explores the concept of the effortless genius, a myth that the fixed mindset clings to. Growth-minded individuals understand that even the most talented people must practice and persevere to reach the top. By changing the meaning of effort and failure, the growth mindset opens up a world of possibilities. You learn that your potential is an unknown quantity that can only be discovered through years of passion and toil. Dweck debunks common myths about high achievement and natural talent in this chapter. She argues that while some people may have a head start, it is the mindset that determines who finishes the race. High-achieving individuals often display a relentless drive for learning and a resilience that stems directly from a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, once a person encounters a setback, they often lose interest or give up entirely to protect their ego. Dweck provides examples from science and the arts to show that many natural geniuses were actually tireless workers who spent years refining their craft. She examines how the fixed mindset can actually limit people who are initially labeled as gifted because they become afraid of losing that status. When accomplishment is tied to being smart rather than working hard, people become fragile. The growth mindset fosters a love for the process, making it more likely that individuals will persist through the plateaus of skill development. This chapter illustrates that our societal obsession with talent often ignores the reality of how greatness is actually achieved. True accomplishment is the result of focused effort over a long period. By valuing the journey over the immediate result, growth-minded people eventually surpass those who rely solely on innate ability. In the world of sports, the difference between these two mindsets is often the difference between a one-hit wonder and a legend. Dweck looks at icons like Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods to show how a growth mindset creates a champion. Many athletes are told they have natural ability, which can lead them into a fixed mindset where they stop practicing as hard as their peers. Champions, however, believe that there is always something to improve, no matter how many trophies they have won. They take responsibility for their performance and use losses as motivation to train harder. In a fixed mindset, athletes often blame their teammates, the coach, or bad luck when things go wrong. Dweck highlights that true character in sports is essentially the growth mindset in action, the ability to dig deep and find a way to win when things are at their worst. Growth-minded athletes don't just want to be the best, they want to be better than they were yesterday. This chapter shows that physical talent is just a starting point. The mental game, specifically the willingness to learn from defeat and push beyond current limits, is what defines a legacy. Even in the most competitive environments, those who focus on personal growth usually come out on top. Dweck applies her research to the corporate world, examining how mindsets affect leadership and company culture. She contrasts leaders who have a fixed mindset, often called geniuses who want to be the smartest person in the room, with growth-minded leaders. Fixed mindset leaders often create an atmosphere of fear where employees are afraid to admit mistakes or suggest new ideas. These leaders are more concerned with their personal reputation and power than with the long-term health of the organization. On the other hand, growth-minded leaders foster an environment of collaboration and continuous learning. They are not threatened by talented employees. Instead, they seek to develop the potential of everyone around them. Dweck discusses the rise and fall of major companies, showing how a culture of talent can lead to groupthink and disaster. When a company values the growth mindset, it becomes more innovative and adaptable to change. This chapter emphasizes that successful leadership is not about having all the answers, but about asking the right questions and encouraging others to grow. Companies that prioritize learning over looking good are the ones that truly thrive in a competitive market. A leader's mindset can trickle down to every level of the organization, for better or worse. Our personal relationships are perhaps the most sensitive areas impacted by our mindset. In a fixed mindset, people believe that their ideal partner should be perfect and that a good relationship shouldn't require work. They often think that if you truly love someone, you should be able to read their mind and everything should be easy. When problems inevitably arise, fixed mindset individuals see it as a sign that the relationship is flawed or that their partner is fundamentally wrong. Growth-minded people, however, believe that a healthy relationship requires effort, communication, and mutual growth. They see conflicts as opportunities to learn about each other and deepen their connection. Instead of blaming their partner, they look for ways they can both evolve to solve the issue. This chapter also explores how the fixed mindset leads to a need for revenge or a feeling of worthlessness after a breakup. The growth mindset allows for healing and the ability to move on with valuable lessons learned. Dweck shows that love is a dynamic process, not a static state of being. By approaching relationships with a growth mindset, we can build more resilient and fulfilling bonds. Success in love is not about finding the perfect person, but about growing with someone over time. This crucial chapter explores how we pass mindsets on to the next generation through our words and actions. Dweck warns that praising children for their intelligence, "You're so smart," actually fosters a fixed mindset. It makes them afraid of challenges because they don't want to do anything that might prove they aren't smart after all. Instead, she advocates for praising the process, the effort, strategies, and persistence a child uses to solve a problem. This teaches children that their success is within their control and encourages them to take on more difficult tasks. Teachers and coaches also play a vital role. Those with a growth mindset believe that every student has the potential to improve. They set high standards, but provide the support and tools necessary for students to reach them. Fixed mindset educators, however, often decide early on which students are smart and which aren't, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. This chapter provides practical advice on how to communicate in a way that builds a growth mindset. It's about creating a safe environment where mistakes are seen as part of the learning curve. By focusing on growth rather than just grades or scores, we empower young people to become lifelong learners. Our feedback is a powerful tool that can either lock someone into a fixed state or set them free to explore their potential. The final chapter offers a roadmap for moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Dweck acknowledges that mindsets are deeply ingrained and that change requires conscious effort and time. The first step is simply being aware of your fixed mindset persona, the internal voice that tells you to play it safe or judges you when you fail. You can even give this persona a name to help distance yourself from its negative influence. Next, you must learn to talk back to that voice with a growth mindset perspective. When the fixed voice says, "What if you fail?" the growth voice responds, "Most successful people failed before they made it." This chapter provides exercises to help readers identify their triggers and practice new ways of thinking. Dweck emphasizes that changing your mindset isn't just about picking up a few tips. It's about a fundamental shift in your philosophy of life. It's a journey of becoming rather than being. She encourages readers to set growth-oriented goals and to celebrate the small wins along the way. Even as you progress, the fixed mindset may occasionally resurface, but with practice, you will have the tools to redirect your energy. The book concludes with the empowering message that you have the power to reshape your brain and your future by simply embracing the power of yet.